quick recap. Lots of craziness went down in the city of Econ. It was recently destroyed. Houses still burning and falling apart. Fiends from the Seven Hells roaming about. The party confronted the two creatures they were seeking, a satyr named Zeke and a pixie named Vel. They got a little bit of information from the two of them that they were looking for their boss, Davros, who was supposedly in the capital city, Tohsa. So they did their best to clear out some of the city. It looked like Rhinewind and the freed citizens did a pretty good job of that on their way out. And they headed straight up to the city of Tohsa. So to start this session, we'll just catch up there. The heat of the desert is already oppressive at this hour, and your throats are parched from the dry air and loose sand ceaselessly blasting across your faces. Like a mirage on the horizon, a sprawling city appears.
I love this.
Buildings large and small, towers with onion domes, and masses of floating earth above the desert lie ahead.
I want onion rings now.
The city of Tohsa is before you. Large humanoid creatures, heavily armored and almost elven in their features, patrol the outer perimeter as you approach. Take it away.
Sure is hot out here.
Really quick, Dan, what is the name of the map that you sent us last week?
Probably Tohsa. Let me pull it up here and take a peek scene.
I think it was like an
yeah, it's right here, Tohsa. Okay, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, your beautiful rendering. It's beautiful.
Ah, yes.
Great.
The masterpiece that is across the...
Lovely.
Yeah. I guess, let me share it out so our viewers can see, I suppose, this wonderful work of art. I'm just going to share it out to myself here.
See, for the longest time, I thought we were in Oklahoma.
It does look like a lot of Oklahoma.
That is
I'll give
awesome.
them that.
All right, let's...
Could be Tulsa.
Okay, let me get this in the zone here. So, chat, here's the city of Tohsa and all its splendor and glory. You're all approaching from the east. You saw that massive dome of swirling wind and sand. Some of the cityscape before you, and then what appears to be an oasis amongst some small mountain-like, tall hill, small mountain mountains in the center of the city.
So where are we again, Dan, on this map?
You're approaching from the east, in between the dome and the
Okay.
city over there, yeah. There's a number of guards. There's no walls on the edge of the city here, but there are a number of guards that are sort of patrolling back and forth around the city area, southeast of this map.
So we don't know. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ed.
Oh, okay. I was just going to ask Dan if he could describe the guards a little bit.
Yes. The guards. Let me go back to this. Okay. The guards are, again, fairly elven, almost half-elf in appearance. I think someone ended up rolling a history check and discovered that they are Jan, which are essentially the weakest of the genies.
Yes.
They don't belong to any particular elemental plane. They have skin that's this golden sand color, very much blend in here. And as you got close enough to see the whites of one of their eyes, you could see there's a very supernatural intensity to their eyes. They all appear in physique, the ones that you see here, like fairly strong individuals. And keen. At least none of them are making like faces, you know? They seem like they're, for the most part, on point. Very stoic and going about their business.
But do they seem, can we tell if they seem friendly?
They seem pretty neutral. Very focused on their task.
On a scale of 1 to 20. Just kidding.
10.
Very tentative.
A 10.
Yeah.
In the middle. Right in the middle. I guess I'll look to the others and be like, so what should we go and talk to the guards?
Yeah. I don't think we have anything to hide. We're not in any sort of trouble or anything, so we're not doing anything wrong.
Kalin always feels guilty.
Yeah. Go through the list of things that we've done recently. Have we done anything wrong in the past week or so?
Kalin takes account of everything that, mentally, of everything that's in her bag and tries to think if she's stolen anything that could possibly be valuable to someone here.
Yeah.
She decides no, she's fine. We're good. So she breathes a sigh of relief. Okay.
How about you, Emersina?
I would guess Emil would stealth.
Yeah, that
You'd be
sounds
like-
about right.
Emil's not even here right now.
I'll go in. I'll be behind you guys though, so I'll be in the back, keeping
Fair
a lookout. So
Sure.
Formia seems pretty driven and intent on getting in here and getting some more info.
Sure, yeah,
yeah,
let's
there's no stopping her.
let's approach, yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll follow your lead, Felix.
/ approach.
Kalin
Yes.
just kind of is like, looks at Felix and is like, okay, well, go on.
Yeah. We'll press
So-
press F to approach.
You're in
Yeah.
charge now, Felix.
The
Felix comes
oasis,
in!
and the oasis itself is looking pretty appealing right now, given the level of heat. It's mid-morning, so the heat is already cranking up. Fairly cold nights, fairly hot days, and you've been doing a lot of walking through the desert.
Yeah, this is probably the one time I'm glad I don't have armor on.
Oh. I might be a bit stinky.
We all probably smell the same at this point.
Yeah, I want to go and I want to go towards the water and kind of splash some water on my face and stuff. Kind of cool down.
Kalin just shrugs and is just okay with however she smells.
Just a little bit of clean face.
Do you guys want to head towards that city section, or you can actually kind of navigate up and over it closer towards that oasis area?
Let's check in with the guards first, if that's okay
Yeah.
with everyone.
I think that's good.
Yeah, so I'd like to approach pretty confidently, with a purpose, and not like sneak up behind them or anything. Make sure it's known that we're there.
Okay. One looks over at you, about roughly the same height as you. Welcome to the city of
Hi.
Tohsa.
Oh, I thought so. I was really hoping that's where we were. It's been quite a journey for us.
Has it?
Yeah. This is kind of our first time in this part of this realm. Is there anything we should know before heading into Tohsa? Are there any special laws or things like that we should be aware of?
Special. I feel that they are the standard laws. Don't cause trouble or you'll have to deal with us. Mind your business, keep your nose clean.
Very clean.
I kind of looks at all of you, just very quickly kind of brushes his nose. Might I suggest visiting the Rohirrim's Respite, the resort on the other side of the oasis. Perhaps freshen up, and you must be thirsty and tired.
Yes, it sounds lovely.
But they may be able to find you lodging if you're looking to stay here.
Sure. About how far away is the Rohim's Respite?
Oh, it's in the center of town. I would say maybe a 30-minute walk. Just head towards the oasis, round it north or south, and on the western edge, you can't miss it. It's the only building there.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you very much for your help.
My pleasure. If you need any assistance while you're here in the grand city of Tohsa, please ask any guard. We will be happy to assist.
Great. Thank you so much.
Indeed.
And we'll see if we can find this Rohim's Respite.
Kalin bows to the guard.
Ormia starts already.
Yeah.
And then you said this place was towards the center of town?
Oh, it's a little building next to the water.
Oh, okay.
In the center, yeah.
little
That's a
building.
building. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's not a pimple. It's fine.
It's just a really long building with like little cabanas outside, and
Sure.
I mean,
Lovely.
you see it, even from the other side of the lake, and as you get closer, and you lose the heat distortion and all. That's exactly what it is. It has a number of small cabanas set up waterside. Rather large building inside, a number of tables and lounge-type chairs, and people that appear to be relaxing, almost like a spa.
There's luxury.
How much is that?
There does appear to be a main entrance, and with doors wide open. Three different sets of doors are all open, and inside appears to be like a help desk, essentially, front desk.
Kalin wanders in, just kind of looking around.
Is there anybody here at the desk? And start looking around. Hello?
You hear a little bit of clutter from an area behind a desk. There's a closed door that bursts open, and a gentleman appears to be human, and maybe his early 40s or so, has a rough beard, like a 9 o'clock shadow, a little more than a 6 o'clock. But very, it's trimmed underneath, and it looks very keen and sharp. Salt and pepper hair, very short, weathered likely from the sun out here, and rushes out. Oh, yes, hello, welcome to the Rohim's Respite. Please, sit down, make yourselves comfortable. How may I help you?
I think we're looking for rooms, right, guys? Rooms?
Yeah, definitely be nice to kind of set everything down and relax for a little bit before we continue on with.
How much do your rooms cost?
Ah, well, what we sell here is more of an experience than simply rooms. There's anything that you desire that is within reason, we will supply. Rest, comfort, food, relaxation, company of another, gambling. By the stars, we just offer so much, it's difficult to put all into one small package here. But we sell this at the cost of 3 gold a head, and it's for 3 nights.
Oh,
It's not a bad deal.
it's actually not a bad deal.
We aim to please here at Rohim's Respite.
Okay.
Where are my manners? My name is Bo Tenry. And he reaches a hand out.
Um,
Well,
Kalin will take the hand and just kind of shakes it.
Okay. It is a pleasure, my lady. So, would you like to sign up for the experience then?
Hey Dan, where is I have completely, our inventory is where it shows our gold.
I think at the very bottom.
I see it. Okay. Got it. I think it's reasonable. Kalin looks around at the others.
I mean, how long are we wanting to stay here?
It's true.
3 nights couldn't hurt. We could find some other lodging later if we need to, or perhaps.
We could come back if we can't find anything. What time of day is it, Dan?
It is about 10:15 in the morning now.
I think Sam might be ready. Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, 10:15 in the morning. Oh yeah, we can come back if we need to, or find somewhere else. That's fine.
Is there a way to do it for like one night?
I'm afraid not. We used to have such a deal, but folks found the experience so incredible that they would constantly stay for 2 or 3 nights, and it simply wasn't worth it to offer one day any longer. So.
Oh, you guys must really have a lot of customers here.
While we are in the outer reaches, we do find that we service, well, at least before the unpleasantness with the previous ruler. Before that, of course, we served many, many dignitaries and traveling bands and troops that would risk coming out to the outer reaches here. Not quite as many as of late, but we do hope to turn that around soon. Yes. Our good ruler is seeking to become the permanent ruler, which would be absolutely divine, yes.
Oh, okay.
Could I ask what kind of amenities that you have here at your establishment?
We have fine sleeping arrangements, feather beds, pillows, fans to air you off during the day, and warm blankets to keep you comfortable at night. We have bathing areas indoors, as though it's some amazing commodity, as well as a small cordoned-off section of the oasis that people are allowed to relax in. We have gambling, everything from Lord and Monkey to the Devil's Eye and Erunur, as well as food and comfort. Is there anything in particular that you seek?
I was just wondering if it was all-inclusive.
Everything except gambling money spent, of course.
Oh, clearly, yes.
Why is it so cheap?
Even the prostitutes?
Oh, come on, Dan. You know that's really what we're talking about.
Kalin, you just said company.
I mean...
I see, yes.
The people that accompany people, they're included as well?
Sorry, I went a little OOC.
No, that's fine. It's fine. It was a multitasking fail, so I'm glad you did. That we offer those services, but yes, those would be independent of the fee.
Okay, well that makes sense.
My apologies.
You wouldn't happen to have any Warforged here on the property, would you?
Warforged.
And he's sitting in a closet anywhere.
Can't say I'm what exactly is a Warforged?
I can tell you stories later. We'll talk. We'll talk.
Our previous ruler prided himself on his private collection of very rare items and such. But alas, I imagine if you're here, you know what became of him.
Right. Did he keep those items in the palace?
I'm sorry, what was that last part, Steph?
Did he keep the items in the palace?
I am unsure. I do not know where he kept them.
Okay.
He would showcase them from time to time as
Oh.
events allowed, but I
Sure.
can't say I recall the name Warforged.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Please, any information you seek, anything I can do for you, please let me know. I am here to serve.
Thank you. Dan, do I see anyone else looking around? Do I see anyone else that is staying here? Like, is the lobby open?
You see, looking down, standing at the front desk, you can look down in either direction, long hallways, and you do see some workers there with towels and other such things walking about. You see what appear to be some guests,
Okay.
but it's not packed or anything right now.
Right. Okay.
I'm getting weirded out vibes.
A little strange. But okay.
It's super cheap for how many things, and I'm just gonna take a step out and think about it for a minute.
You can definitely come back. It's early. It's early. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Kalin will kind of follow Emersina out.
Armia, what do you want to do?
Surprise!
Where are we?
You just made it into Tohsa. You went over to a guard recommended stopping in at the at Rohin's Respite, which is like a resort, essentially, spa resort. Has some gambling, has some relaxation to get cleaned up and everything. It's 3 gold a head for a 3-night stay, and all the food and comfort information, indoor recreational areas, including a little swimming and soaking. It's sort of a pampered treatment. There's gambling. He named a couple gambling games and such at this resort.
Sorry, it's been a long day. Remind me, is this the town that what's his face is supposed to be in, or is that
yes.
further on?
This
Yes,
is it. Davros is supposed to be here somewhere.
Right. Okay.
I'm sorry. Zeke did tell you that specifically in the city of Tohsa, Davros hides out and resides in Orin's Keep, but that Davros has a crystal to allow him entrance, and that the sitting ruler, this temporary ruler, that he didn't mention by name, also likely has a key, as it's part of the prestige of being the ruler. Davros just stole his from the dead king. So.
Okay. Sorry, I'm completely out of it.
No problem.
Okay.
Okay, I think probably I think a little bit of relaxation would, like, I think Ormia doesn't really want to, but I think she needs it. So she probably head there.
Okay.
Like, she'll look like she wants to, but at the same time not, She might go storming up to the
So Kalin, who now that he's given the spiel, who's signing up?
Wait, Ormia, are you leaving or?
They were Ormia. They were there. They just talked to the guy at the front desk of the resort, and he kind of gave the whole spiel on all the stuff that they get.
okay.
Sorry. Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of deciding, standing around.
It's only like 10:30 in the morning, too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I say we look around a little bit,
Okay.
try to find some place, and see what's around, see what's going on, and if not, then head back here. I think.
Is there anything I can help you search for? I'm here to assist in any way I can. I have my ear to the ground, so to speak.
I'll remember that. Thank you.
Mm.
And I'll walk out.
Okay.
You head back outside. The scorching heat hits your face once again. It's that heat that kind of goes into your lungs, makes it a little difficult to breathe. It's a dry heat, some sand. It's
like
in your
Florida.
joints, in your armor, in your underoos.
Wow.
And you're sort of in the middle of the city of Tohsa. There's a number of those buildings back in the southeastern part. You see some in the southwestern part as well. And a massive palace up this really long staircase to the northwest.
Is that where the keep is? Because we haven't asked anybody where the keep is. But do we want to ask anybody to arouse suspicion?
There's probably like a tourism information center somewhere. Maybe, I don't know, this is the Feywild, that's right.
Attorney said we'll go back in and ask that guy, but he kind of offered to give us information if we asked him. So I'm guessing he's probably the tourist information center in the area, at least.
I say let's just look around, see what we can see. Which is the map of the city again?
Tohsa.
Oh. What do you know? The one with the label of the city that we're in.
You're fine.
Okay, so where are we on this map?
You're in that building right next to the water, the oasis in the middle.
Okay, and where did we come from?
The east.
From the east.
East. Okay, so past all of those and past that storm. It looks like the storm in the sky from Zelda.
Ah, nice.
You know which one I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. I can't rain today. Alright.
So
Yeah.
what is that thing to the east, to the northeast, Dan?
That's a huge dome of swirling sand and air.
All right, 10-4. Not going near there. I guess we could go and check out these little... we could either go back to the city that we just came out of, or we could go towards these little places that, you know, they're just ahead.
I kind of want to head towards the palace because if Davros is in the palace,
Okay,
I want
yeah.
to go
sense.
take a look, see.
Yeah.
See what we have to deal with here.
All right.
I'm going to head that way.
Okay.
All right. I follow Ormia.
Back along.
All right. You head up to the city. As you approach this palace, you really approach the base of this massive stairwell. The stairs are numerous. You look up through the heat distortion off the stairs all the way up and up and up and up and up until you get a real good sense of how far it is to go up here. As you reach about a third of the way up, go ahead and make Constitution saving throws.
Oh, perfect. I didn't do that.
Whew. You guys are champs. Okay.
Who gets to fall down the stairs?
You just start trudging up this staircase, and the heat and sand is starting to phase you. It's been
why
three
did
and
we come all the way up here. Like,
three and a half days of traveling.
It's like in Kung Fu Panda, the stairs up to the Jade Palace.
We'll just bounce back down the stairs.
Nice. But you push through. You've spent this much time traveling to the city and across the desert already. You've somewhat acclimated. As you continue up and up, you've been on the stairs already. Gosh, let's see. That's what, about 30 minutes from where you entered to there. So you've been on the stairs for maybe only 20 minutes at that point. It looks like there's probably another 15 minutes of walking up these stairs because they're so high. Make another one last as you're nearing the top. Make another Constitution saving throw.
A little bit better.
Oh no.
Oh,
You guys
Ooh,
died.
good.
I might need a moment. I'm gonna need a moment. I'm gonna pass out.
We just fall back.
I'm just like, oh.
Okay. Yeah, as you're trudging up, this last thing is the sweat. You've stopped sweating. You're becoming dehydrated, Felix and Emeracina in particular. And you're feeling pretty weak and wobbly. You currently feel like you can't go on, or that you need to take a little break.
Can I make some water in my jug and offer them some water?
Oh, yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to kind of help them out, offer them some water from my alchemy jug.
Oh,
Is there a
thank
magic word for your alchemy jug?
No, there's no magic word.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
He just does what I say.
So
I'm very
Kalin
appreciative
turns
of
to you
water.
guys and does that. Yep, she offers you some water. Do you guys take it?
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah, I do.
You know, you guys pound down the water. And it's it's refreshing. Really what you needed, that minute break just to catch your breath and drink that water, and you guys feel energized enough to finish your way up the stairs. As you reach the top of the stairs, there's a number of guards positioned on either side. There were some at the very bottom and some along the way that are just, very stoic and not really turning to look at you or anything, just minding their business, doing their job, their duty. As you reach the top, you see a boatload of guards, probably across the face of this palace, just near the main stairwell up to the front door. There's probably 12, 14 different guards, some patrolling, others standing on either side of the steps, and two walk over and approach you. One of them talks to you. She says, "Welcome to the city of Tohsa. May I ask your business here at the palace?"
We're here for a tour, if that's possible.
Well, I don't normally do tours. Is there anything in particular you'd like to see or know about?
We're all lovers of history, so we were just wondering if we could see some of the more well-known parts of the palace. We've heard so much about it in our adventures here. Just really excited.
Well, go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Oh.
Well done.
+0. Okay, here we go.
It's all up to the die. Nice.
Oh,
You're talking to a fellow history lover in this guard, apparently. Yes, well, there are parts of the palace that are open to the public, and it is filled with plenty of history. I can understand. Yes, well, I'll take you. Yes, come with me, please. And she kind of looks over the party. And, Emil's sort of covered up as best he can be in the heat. He keeps an extra careful eye on Emil. This way, please. And walks you up the last. Of course, there's another flight of steps up to the main door. Like, Garrus is. Nowhere near as bad as the rest. So you walk up the stairs and into the palace interior, which is very, very cool once you get past that first foyer. There's this whole section of the building essentially constitutes an outer gate. It's about 4 different rooms deep. Then it opens up into the inner courtyard that has a number of small buildings around its base, and then a large tower in the center that seems to be where the ruler would reside. She turns and asks, "So you're all new to Tohsa? May I ask what brought you out to the outer reaches?"
Oh, who, us? Oh,
Yes.
oh, we're just exploring the Feywild. We come from the prime material plane, and
Is that so? You get a
Yes.
visible reaction where you haven't quite yet. Well, that's quite interesting.
Can I insight her reaction just to see if it's like, great, this is good, or she's immediately suspicious of us?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead and roll an insight
Just
check.
to get a read on that.
Mm. Mhm.
13.
Okay. Yeah, it seems to be genuine surprise. She actually takes a look at you and kind of has a look like, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. You've gotten the gist so far that, high elves aren't around here too much for some reason. Well, you must have been quite a journey. Glad to have you here, though. We do aim to serve here in the city of Tohsa. I'm glad I'm able to assist you in this, and I hope you find it interesting. And, here we're in the stateroom, and she, kind of begins giving this little we're walking kind of tour where she covers some basic history of Tohsa. Doesn't mention the whole coup and assassination thing from a year ago, but it's a palace for sure. Very fine craftsmanship and architecture, and the thing that strikes you the most is how many collectibles there are here. Rare things. She's constantly saying, this is a one of a kind, and this, which seems to click with what you've heard of this previous ruler that love that kind of stuff. You actually come across a wakizashi, Gujio no wakizashi facsimile, and she gives a similar rundown as Jinx, that covered, there's only a few of these facsimiles in the world, and any one of them could be the real thing. We just don't know. And gives it like a woo kind of flair, and you're like, yeah, we know that. And so while you get to stand at a doorway and look at the courtyard, she doesn't bring you into the courtyard where the main tower and some of those smaller administrative buildings are. She's walking you around this outer square that's about 4 rooms deep. You go through like 10 or 11 rooms along each wall. It's pretty large.
Does the court have guards and people and stuff in it, or is it mostly just empty?
I caught everything except for the very beginning. Is it mostly just empty, or?
So does the courtyard have people or anyone in it, or is it just empty?
It appears to be fairly empty. Sans a number of guards that seem to be patrolling. You see a person walking out of one of the small administrative buildings and into the main spire. Briefly, as you have that quick glimpse, and as you look out, any windows as you're walking by.
Are there any doors the courtyard?
Sorry, what was?
She's
Sorry.
asking if there's any doors out to the courtyard.
There seems to be at least one in each room that you've been in each wall, and almost every room has a doorway out to the courtyard, interior room that would face that. You end up back in your starting spot, and that's the tour.
So, is the center, the big main spire, is that straight in the center of the courtyard?
Yes. There's a few smaller administrative buildings around it in the center of the courtyard, but that spire takes up the exact center.
When we get to a room that looks like it has no sideline guards on it, I'm going to try to slip out the door into the courtyard.
All right, let's do a stealth versus perception, because she's really keeping an eye on everyone as
I'm
you
gonna
walk
like
through.
hang back and like pretend to like look longer at whatever thing she was showing us. So
Okay. All right, she got an 18. Okay, so she sees you hang back, and she starts walking, into the next room, and then looks. Yes, why that's, and gives you some extra detail on whatever you're looking at, and then starts keeping sort of an extra careful eye on you as the rest goes through. She, again, has that, it's an eerie look, because she has that supernatural look to her eyes, and as she sort of, looks at you, it's like she's locked on, sort of. Until you
and
arrive.
I'll give her the 1,000-yard stare just right back.
Nice. And this way, and she continues on, and until you get back to the starting spot, and well, that's the part of the palace. It's open. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Is there anything?
Very much so.
Good.
Thanks for taking the time out of your day to show us all the things that you did about the palace.
Indeed,
Definitely learned a lot.
Part of the job. Is there anything else I can help you all with?
Where is the king? Is it the king or queen? Whoever rules the city? Where do they stay? Didn't look at that at all.
Currently, we only have a stand-in ruler. Sometimes we have a king, sometimes we have a queen. The ruler is decided by the Arens Malin, of course, and Eladrin is sent out to rule. Our temporary ruler is residing in the ruler's quarters, which are at the top of the spire in the center of the courtyard. And gives a little bit more history on the rulers and such.
Why can't we go towards the middle part?
Well, it's official business, of course. We need to protect our ruler and those that run the city, the administrators of law and finance. We can't allow anyone in, aside from those that that are allowed, that have the security clearance, that we know will not be a threat. Did you have official business with anyone in the center?
No, I was just curious. You never mentioned anything about any leaders living here, so usually a palace has leaders with them.
This is true. We had there's some unfortunate circumstances surrounding our previous ruler. We lost our ruler about a year ago, and we have a stand-in ruler that does a fine job. But a lot of...
Does it usually take this long to find a new ruler?
typically our rulers aren't dispatched in the way that our previous was, and there is time to prepare. Living in the outer reaches, it does tend to take a while for us to get any meaningful decisions from the Arens Malin. Just a circumstance
About
of
a year?
It's not unforeseeable. They have a lot of pomp and circumstance to electing new rulers within the Eladrin group, and vetting and what have you, whatever they put their respective rulers through. We are certainly hoping to get a new one soon. Stand-in ruler is actually petitioning to become a permanent ruler, and so hopefully we'll have some more stability in the region soon. You may have noticed.
Interesting. That would be more efficient.
Beans, I missed the first part. I heard that'll be more efficient.
But interesting, that's not a bloodline.
Yeah, I must agree, but it is not my place to set such policies. But I certainly agree with the notion.
What is the stand-in's name?
Renan is a stand-in king. He done a fine job and looks over the city with great care, but because he is not the official ruler, he cannot... his official reach does not extend beyond the city of Tohsa, and therefore the kingdom itself has seen more than its fair share of struggle and strife this past year. Hopefully his petition will come through soon, and he will be granted the rights and privileges of the ruler and be able to bring some much-needed stability back to the region.
That's a lot of information.
It's
Well, thanks
very
again for this.
interesting.
That's one way to put it, yes.
Kalen's already lost interest and is standing in a corner reading one of her books.
Nice. Well, if there's anything else I can do for you, or any place I can direct you, please let me know. We're here to help.
Thank you.
If we were to have business with this ruler, where would we go to get that started?
Well, you can put in a request here with me, and I can submit that. Unless you have... you likely don't have any contacts here that could expedite such a request. Unless you have friends or family or anyone you know that might be able to vouch for you. That is a resident here in Tohsa.
What if we want to see someone who also perhaps is in the palace? I think is one of the administrators or workers here. Probably is in that central tower, but isn't the leader. Do we need special permission to go visit them there?
Yes, it's permission to gain entrance to that location. There is some additional work that's put into an audience with the ruler himself in this case, but it's a two-tiered system request.
Okay. Can I put in a request then to just go in to see the tower? I myself am also a noble, and I'm doing to see what ways we can improve our own government systems within my hometown. So I was hoping I could get a close look.
You are a wise woman. Certainly, please, let me, we have a form of sorts, and it's just a long scroll. She kind of walks over to one of the desks and talks to another clerical person, and gets that and brings it over and sets it down. And she looks at you and Felix. She has sort of a new, higher opinion of you after saying that you're here to kind of better your town and your people under your rule. And she's appreciated Felix's love of history.
Supposed love of history.
Suck up.
She points to a line that says reference, personal reference, and says, you did not hear this from me, but I would highly recommend finding a trustworthy business person in town that might be willing to vouch for you. Perhaps with some coin or some persuasion, or simply a kind request. I know that Bo Tenry has been known to support. He's a very good judge of character, and if he were to vouch for you, or someone like him, perhaps we can expedite this a little more. And then kind of turns, back aside as though she hadn't said anything. Like she's doing it on the low.
Just kind of nod my thanks. And what was your name again?
Oh, my name... Of course, I scrolled to a different area. Curses. My name is Shive.
Thank you very much for all your help.
Absolutely. Please, if there's anything else that is within my power to do, I would be happy to do so.
Keep that in mind. Thank you.
Let's go get some endorsements.
As we're on our way out, Kalin shuts her book, starts to follow everyone, but then she stops and turns, and she was like, "Oh, I noticed your ruler had a lot of wonderful, beautiful things. Do you know if you've ever held any Warforged here in this palace?"
Warforged.
Do you know what a Warforged is? Big metal golem of sorts. Would protect, came from, I think, the dwarves, Or...
Well, I don't recognize the name, but yes, our previous ruler had a number of rare golems and armors. So I'm not sure where he kept them. I've seen them in transports. Sometimes they were displayed, but he didn't keep them here on the grounds.
Okay.
I don't know if any of them would qualify as the Warforged you seek, but certainly things along those lines were here. Yes.
Wonderful, thank you. And also, can you tell me, does Tohsa have a library of any sorts in town?
The ruler has a personal library. Sadly, part of our town was lost to us in the uprising a year ago. There were some riots and city conflict, and we lost a good bit of our history, including the library.
Is that what that giant storm outside of town is?
I'm sorry, is what?
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
That giant storm outside of town is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. That, is a bit of a natural wonder. It was here, one of the first things that captured my eye when I first arrived here in Tohsa many decades ago. That is Orin's Keep. Very dangerous. I would not recommend going near it. The swirling sands will tear you to shreds.
I'm sure they will.
Only the ruler has means to enter. Of course, it's named after... Oh, are you aware of Orin?
No, that was me as the player, thanking you, the DM, sarcastically.
Oh, nice. I can't remember if you guys heard about Orin or not yet. So if you remember Orin, the Earth Elemental, the parent of all Earth Elementals, then that's who it is. If not, then she just asks, "Oh, are you aware of Orin?"
Yeah.
Well,
I don't remember Orin.
Orin is the father of all Earth Elementals here in the Feywild. A gargantuan Earth Elemental, said to have an entire mountain range across his back. This, I believe, our previous ruler named this deadly dangerous cyclone of sand Orin's Keep, in order to keep superstitious folks away from his... Not sure what he used it for. Some speculate that he kept some of his more precious finds there. The most rare and most valuable of his finds within the cyclone somewhere. Again, named Orin's Keep in an attempt to deter folks, the superstitious folks, from entering, as though it belonged to Orin himself.
Is there a regular innkeeper? An inn around here? Besides the building by the oasis?
Besides the fancy place.
Yes, Rohin's Respite, I believe, is the place you speak of. And fine establishment. I believe there are some other inns and taverns further into the city that do not offer quite the arrangement of goods that Rohin's Respite offers, but suit your needs if you need a full belly and a good night's rest. I would recommend looking for the Lost Hour, an inn and tavern in the city. Another one would be the Bent Rod. That's a bit more of a rough inn and tavern, but that suits some folks' needs, so also less expensive than the Lost Hour.
How is the reputation of the Oasis Resort?
Oh, it's one of the many prides of Tohsa. It's in times before was used to host many an important person, dignitaries, and even members of the Arens Malin when they visited.
What happened?
Well, since the loss of our previous ruler, the Arens Malin, many dignitaries and others that would normally seek an audience with the ruler and come to do the socializing that such rulers do, have no reason to without a true rightful ruler.
They don't accept him then. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Oh, one last thing. If we were looking for a bite to eat around here, is there a place that you would recommend?
There are a number of establishments that serve a hearty meal. I think the only place in Tohsa currently, aside from the palace, of course, would be Rohin's Respite, that serves anything beyond the standard meal. If you're looking for something on the finer side of dining, that is. Either of the taverns I mentioned serve an adequate meal, though, if you're simply looking to restore your constitution.
Sounds great. We'll give those. We'll check those out.
Lovely. It's been a pleasure, truly. Each of you. She kind of gives a bow to each of you. And Emil that's, been sort of ducking and dodging around so quietly.
Emil's probably just stealth.
He's stealthing the whole time.
Yeah.
It just looks like the four of us. He's just one of our shadows, like Peter Pan.
Seb flies out.
All right, where do you guys want to head to next?
Well,
I'm assuming that took a really long time.
Yeah, I mean, you spent a good 3.5 hours, so you're probably close to 2 o'clock now, 2:30.
Kalin's stomach rumbles. And
let's go find one of these
slide to get down the stairs.
Who's got a shield? Like a big a big shield.
Yeah, let's do it. There's such thing as sand sledding.
Are we going to get food?
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. You make the long haul down the stairs. After the long tour, your legs are absolutely aching. The heat is intense at this point in the day. And again, the sand, especially going down these stairs, now the wind is blowing upward. It was at your backs on the way up. Now it's against you, which is nice for the support as you're walking down, but the sand brushing across your face and your eyes and ears and the folds of your shirt, and it's just everywhere as you make your way down to the bottom of the stairs finally and into town. Are you looking to go to one of the inns or Rohirrim's Respite?
I want to go to that's not the Lost Tower, but the other one.
The Bent Rod.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. So you make your way through the city. It feels like mostly like an upper middle class city. A lot of the buildings are pretty, well kept. They look nice. They're clean for being out, in the desert. And most of the people look fairly well to do. This is a bit of a rougher neighborhood, perhaps. The people don't keep up appearances quite as much here. And the buildings are grouped together more and a little on the smaller side. But it's still a fairly decent compared to some slums and stuff that you've been in your travels. Fairly decent part of town. You approach the Bent Rod, and you can hear the sounds of talking. It's not really rough or anything like that right now at this time of the day. There's some folks as you enter. It's a little bit cooler inside, which is nice to get out of the sand and the heat. There's some fine mesh screens of sorts on small, narrow windows to attempt to keep the sand out. A number of people sitting down at different tables having moderately lively conversations, but nothing too rowdy. And a server comes over and asks, welcome, yes, to the Bent Rod. A pleasure. How may I assist you fine folks?
Kalin's busy getting the sand out of her armor, so knocking on the floor, it's just flying everywhere.
Like in the Sandlot, there's like there's this little small pile of sand that kicks out.
Yeah.
Kind of looks down and looks back up at.
Sorry, we'll take some food, please.
Wonderful. You can choose any table you like, and I will be happy to take your order. And he takes, your order unless you have anything specific that you want The food's a little bit different here. It's very, much based on what's available, of course. So there's anything. The water's kind of limited. There's a number of drinks from animals, milk kind of drinks that you have to drink quickly because of the heat. The food, there's a lot of plants, plant-based food out here. And then some smaller game, like some meteor lizards and other such things for meat. A lot of barbecue, a lot of fried and barbecue type stuff. But there are a number of fresh vegetables. That seems to be in surplus. Not sure where they're getting it from, but it's fresh. And
It's fresh from somewhere.
yeah, they must have something set up somewhere. It's soylent vegetables. Yeah.
Felix will pick something interesting off the menu. Something that I guess maybe some of the lizard meat sounds interesting.
There's like a scorpion kebab type.
Nope.
No, okay. Not that.
Change your mind real quick.
Yeah, that's a little too adventurous for Felix.
Awesome. There's a sort of a cactus-based meal that has some snake meat and not cactus, but cactus cousin, something that's safe to eat.
Don't drink the cactus juice.
Yeah. There is no disclaimer that warns about hallucinations.
It's the quenchiest.
Nice. Yeah.
Kalin will go for just one of the barbecue meat options, I think.
Okay.
Okay, well, she'll go to a table in the corner that's big enough for all of us. Make her way over there.
All right. Find a cozy inner corner, so it's sort of away from the windows and mostly sand-free. And you get your food. It's all cooked. Let's see how it's cooked.
Oh.
Why not, right? Ooh, okay. Expertly cooked. It's actually really tasty, very filling. And it's nice. It's just so, even though these are stone benches and some hard wooden seats around these tables, it's nice to be off your feet and in a semi-cool place without sand up your face and around the corner. You guys have a moment to breathe and relax.
So,
I'm gonna stay quiet the whole meal, just kind of looking around for someone who would be like someone who could potentially be like an underground contact sort of thing.
Okay. I multitask failed on the latter half of that. You're keeping calm the whole meal, and you're...
She's looking for somebody that could.
I'm looking for someone who would give us inside information onto getting into the keep.
Okay. Make a perception check. If you would. It seems to be sort of standard citizens eating meal, talking about a hard day's work, and then going about their business.
That's all.
Okay.
So, do we have a plan for what we'll be doing here, guys?
Well, we need to get into that keep. And I thought it would be the palace, but no, it has to be the gigantic sand cyclone.
Of course.
Otherwise, it would be too easy.
I wonder how you would even get into it.
But more importantly, how do we get out?
That's another question.
Were there any windows along the walls of the keep?
Yeah, both inside and on the outside of that wall and on the inside, looking into the courtyard. Yep.
Kalin, could you remind me how your library works? How many guests can you invite inside?
Only one other person.
It might be interesting to maybe do a little bit of research on the keep if the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Is a good idea. We can do that whenever. Take someone in. Help me look. But it would take time.
Hmm.
I think typically 8 hours, Dan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you'll get advantage on a history check. Mhm.
Yeah.
Or maybe we could just find a merchant in town, approach it from that angle.
Or we could try to find someone who can get us in contact with Tavros himself. I feel like Zeke told us something, and I wrote it down in my notes, and my notes have all vanished again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all the whole note section is blank. So I feel like Zeke told us something about how to find someone to contact Davros or whatever, but I don't remember. But Ormia would have.
Sorry. Yeah, I see your notes here. That's weird. I'll see if they load next time. Let me just see. I mean, basically Zeke told you that that Davros has that crystal that allows him entry into Orin's Keep. He stole it from the previous king. You know that essentially it's the two of them that actually see Davros face to face, but otherwise he's essentially like a ghost. People know of him, don't see him. I think that's most of what he mentioned.
So I thought at one point he said, maybe I'm misremembering. But I think that might be our best bet, is to just try to find him specifically. It's also probably, it's also probably somewhat suicidal, but...
Who would be good people to ask about Davros?
I've been trying to keep an eye out for people like that, and I don't see anyone, but then again, I'm not the specialist at that, and I'll glance over at Emil.
I guess maybe he'll say, well, yeah, I can keep an eye out for that. Do you want me to go out and actively seek that, or just keep an eye out for it as we travel together?
I think the faster the better. It might be better to actively seek him, but maybe not as ourselves. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. Mm-hmm. I can...
So, we're looking for him for a job or something. I've heard that he's the one who can get things done.
Well, let's just say that our friend Eckert can ask around.
Who? I remember.
Oh.
Ormia doesn't know that.
Well, I wouldn't want to say anything, Beans, because I don't know what he wants to know. All right, scratch that part. Yeah, I think I can ask around without him knowing about
Well,
us. Should I meet back with everyone at any time or place in particular, or location?
I think. Do you guys want to stay here, or would you prefer that Lost Hour place? I don't have much preference either way.
To be honest, I was totally fine with Raheem's respite. Seemed like we were getting a really good deal for our money.
I'm fine either way, Emil adds.
I would say either go back to I don't know,
the Oasis place is closer to where we want to be.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's stay there then.
Well, I'll meet all of you late this evening, tonight.
Alright, Emil. Good luck.
All right.
Thank you. And we even have party funds we can pay for our stay with.
Nice. Emil finishes up his food and gives some to Seb, who's just like air in this air of heat. Some of the drink, and heads out. Oh, let me think for a second. I forgot about the heat and stuff. And Emil's not here. I'm just gonna roll something quickly. Okay. So Emil, for when you watch this, Seb is feeling a little bit on the weak side because of all the heat and the sand, and very much out of his natural habitat. And you've taken some extra care to shield him or her, I forget now, to shield Seb from that. And now you have it's exposed you a little more to the harsh elements, and you have a bit. Your skin's really dry and itchy almost, and cracking a bit too. Arms and the places that are exposed to very kind of raw and uncomfortable, extreme lobster sunburn. Yeah.
Had that before.
Yeah, it's not good. Okay. So he's headed off to do his thing, and you guys, what do you want to do in the interim?
I'm just gonna finish my food and step out for a moment.
Yeah, I think
Kind
head
of
to...
wait to see what everybody else is doing and when we're gonna take off.
Okay.
I think we might as well head to that Oasis place now.
Sure.
Hey Dan, is there a can I ask the tavern keeper if there is a place that would sell general goods like potions nearby?
Sure. The server is over in a matter of minutes. Very great service here. Up and on it and such. And yes, ma'am. Well, if you're looking just for a general store, I would say Rebibus's Basics. They carry your general adventuring gear. If you're looking more for and kind of looks at your armor and weapon and stuff, things in the way of armor and weapons and the like, that end of adventuring, you probably want to stop at the Pan and Stick.
And what was the general store's name again?
Rebibus's Basics, of course. REBIBUS '(S) Basics.
And where would the basics be?
Oh, that's, just around the corner, maybe a 2-minute
Okay.
walk. Head out the front entrance, take a right, go down about 3 blocks and hang a left, and then a corner of the block on the right. You can't miss it. It's got a big, embarrassing sign out front. It just says,
okay.
Rabibus's Bay is giant compared to the storefront. You can't miss it.
Okay. Excellent, thank you.
Absolutely.
Caitlin exits.
I feel.
Felix will follow. Kalin, do you mind if I join you to the...
No, let's go. Yeah. Caitlin tells everyone that she's going to go and get some potions, offers if anyone wants to go with her to the general store to get a few things before we go to the Oasis.
Okay, so you step outside. You see Kalin step outside and let you know, hey, I'm going to the general store. Gonna pick up some stuff.
Alright.
Oh,
I'm gonna
wait a
walk out
minute.
as well. Yeah. I'm gonna walk out as well, but I'm gonna go a different direction. Just you guys stay there.
Okay.
I
Take
guess
care
we'll
of
meet
yourself,
back at...
Oasis.
Can I just meet you guys at the place?
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you guys there.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Alright, so we'll head over to the basics shop then.
Okay. Good old Rabibus's
down
Basics.
3 blocks, right 3 blocks, hang a left, around the corner, big
Been around
embarrassing
3
sign.
times. Yeah.
Mhm.
And you really can't miss it. Once you're a little nervous about the directions, like, okay, that sounded straightforward, but maybe not. But as soon as you turn the corner,
Especially Kalin.
you can see, it's really, the whole storefront is Rabibus's Basics, it says across the front. It's, like he did it himself, too. It's carved out of wood, and it's bulky and sort of not very classy.
That's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
I wasn't kidding when he said it was large.
So, obviously did it himself.
Well, so Kalin goes inside.
Okay. Ding, 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 ding. Knocks a little bell above the door. And a little halfling kind of bounces over from behind the counter. Yes, welcome. Oh, my, customers, yeah. My name is Ricard Germain, and I am here to make your day. What can I sell you today?
Well, I do have to say your sign is lovely out front.
Thank you. Would you believe it if I told you?
Yeah?
I did that myself.
No.
Mm-hmm. It took a
That's
big
so
ladder.
Good.
Mm.
A very big ladder, I'm sure.
Yes.
It's a big sign. That's why I'm saying that.
It started from the top down.
Did you now?
Mhm.
That is very ingenious of you. Very ingenious. It certainly stands out.
That's what I was going for.
Great. I'm looking for, you seem to have a very nice shop here. I'm looking
thank you.
for some potions.
Certainly. What type of potions are you looking for? We have a
I'm
few.
just healing potions.
Oh my! Well, we have some, but we don't sell that many. They're a bit on the expensive side. With all the components that go into them. Let me see what I have.
Okay.
And rushes about. Oh, come on! Follow me. And goes-
Okay.
goes down an aisle or two and pulls out a drawer, a big wooden drawer, and flips through a few containers in there. They look like leather pouches, and pulls looks 2 of them over, pulls 2 out, and come over, and he sets them down on the main counter. Well, these are healing potions, standard healing potions, and they're 50 gold apiece.
Oh, wow. That's a lot. That's a lot of gold for healing potions.
Well, it's the standard rate, I think, across the Feywild. And it is, that's, the basic rate in the, player's handbook. In the Prime, for the most part here. Sometimes there's some wiggle room, though.
Okay.
I don't sell these too often, and you seem, very, keen eye for, talent and craftsmanship, and so I'm sure you can appreciate these, but I might be able to give you a bit of a discount and maybe sell them for maybe 40 gold apiece, but that's the lowest I can go.
Understandable. Yeah, well, I would definitely thank you so much for showing me those. I would definitely think about that. I just need to make another stop, and I might be back.
Yeah, very good. Very
good. But she calls over Felix if he was interested in getting the healing potions, or if there was something else he was interested in looking at.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'll pass on the healing potions, but do you happen to have a they kept on calling it a med kit in the episode, but it's a healer's kit? Is that right?
Oh, well, let me check my drawer here. And he goes back over to the same drawer, puts those two items back in, and pulls a drawer out a little further. Pause through that. Yes, I do. I kind of blows the dust and sand off the top. It fills that whole section of the the room. Yes, I have one left. Let me just make sure everything's still good inside, yeah?
Okay.
And he walks over to the counter and opens up the top of the wooden box and kind of flips through the different vials and pouches of ingredients in there. Yes. Okay, yeah. Everything seems to be in good order still. Yeah. That'll be...
Insight check that.
that'll be, I'll say 3 gold for you. Usually 5, but, what can I say? I've got a soft spot for people that, with good taste.
Sure. 3 gold sounds good. Felix puts the money down on the table.
Lovely. Like with a ninja speed, grabs it and pockets it. Yes, lovely. Well, is there anything else I can help you find or help you with?
Do you have any books?
You see, he just has this incredibly despondent look when you ask. I'm afraid not. We lost our library, and boy, it was my favorite place in town.
Oh, I'm so
I do
sorry
love
to
to read.
You like to read?
Oh, so much.
Oh.
And now I've read the same book at home time and time again. They have a library in the palace, but that's, not for townsfolk. I do hope they send someone out here soon and rebuild the library and start rebuilding the parts of the town that were destroyed. Oh, how I long for a good book.
Do you know if anybody who's ever seen the library inside the palace?
I can't say that I do. I'm told it's a grand library.
Not too bad. It sounds really interesting.
It does.
Yeah, no, I had in my inventory a book of dwarvish songs and tales and things, I think. I don't see it in there, but I know
I remember that. Yeah.
I would like to give that to him.
Oh.
Yeah. I pull it out of my thing and kind of dust it off with stuff on it, and here, from one reader to another.
For me?
For you. It's dwarvish. There's dwarvish tales in there and songs, and I've read it 2 or 3 times already. Please, I want you to have that.
Oh.
To add to your library.
You are too kind.
Hopefully you'll get some more books soon.
Oh. You are such a kind soul. I read Dwarvish and look, please don't tell anyone else about this, but, and he hustles back over and opens the drawer and takes one of those healing potions out. Take it, please. This book is worth so much to me. The least I can do, but please don't tell anyone. I couldn't keep my doors open. Oh.
I know. I understand. I won't tell a soul. Kalin puts it in her bag. Thank you so much.
Oh,
But
thank
the
you,
real-
thank you.
The real joy is
Oh.
giving you something to read.
Yes, well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Keeps going to set the book down, but just like can't let it go. Like,
Oh.
yes.
Enjoy. Kalin starts, backing out.
Thank you. Good day.
You've got a good hard record. We'll be back if we need anything else.
Yes.
Please, anything I can do.
Tell everyone of your wonderful shop.
You are so kind. And now he's got this super eager look on his face, and he sort of hustles back behind the counter and plops the book down, and Art starts like consuming.
All right. Great.
I think you have do you have a healing potion already? If so, just up the quantity by one.
Okay. Yeah, I had one in there, so yeah, I'll put
Okay.
2.
Cool. All right. Em, where were you headed?
I am headed back at the Oasis place, and when I get there, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, we're coming back. Here's my gold. I would like a hot bath."
Absolutely. Please. Right this way. I'll show you to. We have a bath house where you can have a private bath, or you can have a steam room shared bath experience with others.
Oh.
I would like a private one, please.
Certainly. Okay. Please, right this way. You seem very eager to serve and please.
And then like 10 pounds of sand comes out of my boots and stuff.
Yeah, there is like a changing area, and you can already see little sand, like maybe it just gets in here, but you dump out so much sand, and even when you get into the water, it's perfect, that perfect temperature. The bath is kind of on the large side, so you have plenty of room to get in and really relax, and it feels amazing. You submerge, and you see some of the dirt, the sand, floats up and mixes with the water as you get in, but you can feel it dispersing. And there's some soap and some hair soap, as they call it there, and everything you really need to get clean properly.
Where is everybody?
Yeah. Nice. And Ormia, what were you up to on after the meal?
I'm heading over to the deep.
Oh,
Ooh, nice.
nice
Oh.
knowing her.
Alrighty then.
It was nice knowing you.
And I vote we take our bio break now because I think mine might take a little bit longer.
Yes. Okay. And so you're headed to the keep, you said?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make sure I heard it. Okay. Ooh, how exciting. Okay. So you're headed there, and yes, perfect. We will take a bio break. So anyone in chat that doesn't know, we take a 5 to 8 minute bio break. We'll continue streaming, of course, during that, and then we will, people-wise, return and resume. So we'll catch you all in like 5 to 8 minutes. Yay!
fantasy ground.
And I turned on the other thing. All right, there we go. Waka waka. Hey guys, we're back. And now I'm down here instead of.
You say waka waka?
Yeah, waka waka.
Waka waka waka.
All right, where's Sam's camera? 'Cause we don't need me on here twice. Let's just... Nobody needs two of me.
Hey, look, it already looks like I'm having a hot, steamy bath.
Doesn't it? Yeah, I saw the.
So refreshing.
Relax.
Also, hello to everybody in chat that joined during the break.
Oh, hello, everyone in chat. Guess I should probably pull that up. We're back from our break. I'm glad you could join us here. Oh, hey, y'all. How's it going? Cool. And, Frank, Nate, and, everybody. Yeah, lots of cool peeps, and yay. All right, so we have returned. Everyone just had a powwow over a late lunch, and Emercina went back to this resort location next to the Oasis and is relaxing, soaking in a nice steaming hot bath, chilling at last after 3.5 days to get here.
Asleep.
All the crazy steps. Felix and Kalin went to. Shame on me for not having that memorized. The it's Revivus. Revivus is basics. Yep.
Yeah.
To get some adventuring gear. And Felix, I forget if you had asked at the end of last. I don't know. I'll send you a message because I can't remember if you asked and where you asked. Anyway, they're shopping there, and Emil is out looking for shady people with intel, and Ormia split off from the group and is headed towards Orin's Keep, which is that giant, twisting, twirling whirlpool over there, dome of wind and sand racing about in cyclical fashion in the northeastern part of the map there in the desert. And so let's jump in on Ormia. You're leaving the city limits. You go past the Oasis and the small mountains there, tall hills. And as you approach, its scope really begins to hit you. This is probably miles wide and ridiculously tall, this dome of swirling wind and sand. And even before you get too close to it, you're still several hundred feet out. The wind and sand is already whipping across your face, and it's starting to hurt.
I'll take like a piece of clothing or something and just like over the mouth, the desert gear, you know.
Neat.
Indiana Jones.
Okay. How much closer do you want to get? You're maybe like 200-300 feet out.
What's visibility like?
It's getting a little bit difficult to see between the sand blasting into your eye, through the slit you're trying to look through. But also just the sand filling the air. You can probably see the standard like 60, 80 feet in front of you before it becomes sort of a wall of sand. And then another 200 feet beyond that is this harsh edge that is visible when you look up over all the sand that's, covering the bottom 20, 30 feet off the ground. You can still see the power of the edge of that dome about 100 feet, 150 feet off.
Okay. I want to look around for any sort of like guard tower or guard presence or any sort of like eye of the storm, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start heading off to the north, up and around. So like I approached it, and I'll go like up around my left side just a little ways, probably about like walk for 15 minutes or so.
Okay.
I'm just looking for any sort of bastion or
Okay.
calm spot, and I'll try to get a little bit closer as well.
All right, go ahead and make a perception check if you would.
Character sheet, perception. This is here comes the lunch. This
Whee.
double
Do
ones.
you go around the outside of the oasis to get there, or are you going through?
I would probably take the shortest route.
Let's see, from where you were, you would have probably cut through and near the resort, unless you were trying to avoid being seen, then you might have gone like up the mountains just north of the resort.
Not really.
Okay.
I
You'd
mean,
probably
like-
walk right by the resort and then out that center break in the mountains right up to the to Orin's Keep.
Would I see her while I'm looking out the window? If there's a window in the private area that I'm in?
There isn't in this one. There's sort of a screened area, but it's very tight lattice, so you people can't see in for privacy.
Oh yeah.
So you probably wouldn't see out. Yeah.
Okay. I'll just enjoy my bath.
Yeah. It feels good after all
Totally
that. travel.
oblivious.
Nice.
Man, everybody's taking such a long time.
What
Where's everybody?
is going on? Ormia, you see simply this dome in all its fury. It's like it feels like a natural occurrence, even though it doesn't really look like it. There's something true to nature about it. This power of nature swirling this sand here. Clearly, it's not something that would ordinarily happen elsewhere, but maybe in the Feywild this is just something that happens. But you don't spot any structures visible and anything jutting out of any part of this. As you move closer,
just like a little,
yeah.
just like like 5 foot step at a time.
Okay,
I'm pushing myself as far as I can go.
You do that for about, you make it another maybe 30 feet inward, 5 feet at a time, before you feel the abrasive nature of this sand actually, it feels painful through your clothes. And the wind, you could almost lean forward at a 45-degree angle and be supported. Your feet are starting to push sand back as you're trying to push against the force of this wind. You feel like much closer, and you might risk actually being hurt if you could push through the force of the wind.
Okay, I'll stop there, and I'm going to first I'm going to try a little experiment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to draw my sword,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast
Mm-hmm.
into the dome. See
Okay.
how far it can get.
All right. What is the range on that? 60?
It's like ridiculous. C, D, E, 120 feet.
Okay. You draw your sword, and practicing, what you've worked with since your mishap there, leaving Akon. You hold your sword out, and the runes in the back of your hand light up, run down your fingers and through the sword. That out of the tip of the rapier blasts this eldritch blast that cuts through the sand and wind. But the visibility is so low that you only see it for about 20-25 feet. It seems to stay on course because it's magic. You don't notice it arcing or anything, but you don't hear it hit or strike anything. It's hard to hear anyway with the roaring wind. But as far as you could see, it went straight through.
Okay, could I have sensed if it passed through the dome?
In the 25, 30 feet that you could perceive, it seemed to go through and didn't strike or bounce back. You didn't see anything come flying out, rubble or destruction or anything like that. It just cracks through.
Okay, so then it doesn't seem to be magical at all. Okay, I'm gonna do my other cantrip, and then I'm gonna push forward a few more feet.
Okay. What's your other?
Blade Ward gives me resistance to damage.
Ooh, okay. Is it any particular type of damage?
It's not.
Sorry.
I looked this up for a reason and I forgot everything. Resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Never mind, I'm not going to do that. Don't attacks. I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
This is not a weapon.
Okay. All right. You push through with all of your strength. I guess first make a strength check to try and push against the wind to continue in.
Actually, yeah, she wouldn't. She probably wouldn't know that because this is the first time she's done this. So she's going to see if this would help against the elements, which it says weapon attack. So I'm assuming not. So I'm just going to try to go 5% more. And a strength check.
Yeah, just a straight up strength check.
-1.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
So how do you fall and tumble backwards?
This is gonna be fun, yeah. So as you attempt to push through, you take one step, but the force of the wind is so strong, and the sand, you're already pushing sand up that you just kick sand out behind you, and you start to go down face first, but the wind is so strong it grabs you and snaps you back like a kite, and you tumble and tumble and tumble a good 30 feet, getting pushed backwards and out a little bit, a good 5 feet out away from where you were. I guess roll a d4 if you would.
While she's getting tumbled backwards, I'm gonna get out of my luxurious bathtub.
I got
Do they wash clothes there too?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There. 4.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, there's a little hamper, woven hamper there for clothes that they'll take care of. And they have a number of different sets of like bathrobes and light, loose like linen clothing that's really loose fitting and airy.
I'll just ask him if he could wash my clothes while I'm in the bath, and like by the time I'm out of it, I'd be like, "Hey, can I have my clothes, please?" And
okay. Yeah, he tells you, yes, it'll be about an hour to wash them and then have them dried out. But he says, yes, of course, yes.
okay,
Lovely.
I guess I'll be hanging out in a bathtub or bathrobe for a little bit.
Perfect.
Yay. That's not awkward at all. I'll go sit in a corner and find something to read, I guess. Do you have any books?
Yeah, so what genre would you choose? We have history books, we have fantasy books, live in a world far away. We have
I'll take a history book.
lovely, okay. And he ends up delivering and putting in there's an intermediary room between the bath and the hallway that is almost within reach for you. You have to climb out a little bit to get the stuff, but he sets in on the very edge there a stack of books that have all history-related books, mostly Feywild. One's for Tohsa, one is for the entire kingdom, Kohara. And then another one is about the Seelie Court and Unseelie Court of the Fae. And some other fun stuff. Good reads.
I'll just pick up the one about the kingdom and start reading until my clothes are ready.
Okay.
Smash cut back to Ormia picking herself up.
Yeah, you've got a mouthful of
Planting
sand.
the sand.
Yes, you definitely took a bite of sand with that. And 4 points of bludgeoning damage from falling, head over foot there.
Which was not resisted from my ward, was it?
Unfortunately not, no.
Okay, learn my lesson. Ow!
Valuable lesson.
Okay, then I'm gonna stand up, and I'm gonna face the, okay, when I launched my Eldritch Blast, did it, like, carve a path through the wind, or did it just shoot straight through?
It just shot straight through. You didn't really see much effect on the wind and sand, but it's
Okay.
really hard to see. It's like a cloud of fierce dust and sand.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot just 3 more, just like kind of like swinging my sword angrily, just like trying to cut at the sand. And I'm gonna shout into it. So Ormia's screaming at the top of her lungs, but I'm not going to because people upstairs are asleep. She's just gonna kind of shout, "Davros!" Yeah, just Davros! I've come for him.
Nice. Okay. You do, and you fire these bolts. One fires like upward, so it just catches the edge of the dome, and you see it fire off into space as far as you can see past that. Another 2 strike into the massive dome of swirling sand.
Do I faintly hear any of this?
No, it's pretty far away. Yeah.
Okay.
How loud was she screaming?
Davros!
Just, I'm coming for him, and I am coming for you, and I will have your head.
Nice.
And just slashing and shooting and just angry.
You do so until you're like almost blue in the face. Just expend all this energy and hollering at Davros and venting that anger and frustration. And Yaris must be so close, but he's so flippin' far away. Until you're worn out.
Yeah. And just so mad and wipe the sand off my sword as best I can and sheath it and head back.
All right, you begin the journey back to the resort. Kalin and Felix, was there anywhere else you guys were going? I forgot to send you a message, Felix.
Should we peruse the shops around the center of town while we're here?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Maybe they have like a bookshop or something around.
Well, I asked. They said they didn't have a bookshop, but we can look for one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Dan, what kind of shops are around town that we see?
A lot of this, there's a lot of residential areas here. There's some standard shops that take care of basic daily needs. Furniture, plateware, things that they need to get by on a day-to-day basis. The only other shop that sells anything related to outsiders or adventurers would be the Pan and Stick, which is an armor and weapon shop. There's a bordello in town, the Feathered Bed.
I'd like to head over to the armor shop.
Okay.
Sure, I'll tag along.
To kind of peruse.
Neat.
So we step into the armor shop, Dan.
Okay.
It's a little too early in the day for the bordello anyway.
Nice.
we pass the bordello and Kalen's like, look at what
that's...
that place is.
Let's keep walking.
Oh, okay, sure.
It looks
pretty. It looks pretty.
He's like, don't lose focus.
The red light is kind of nice, isn't it?
It's very lovely. Very lovely. All right, so we head into the armor shop.
Okay. You head in and you see a female gnome polishing some armor on a wooden mannequin of sorts. She has a very scholarly look about her. hair done up, and she has medium length auburn hair, carefully crafted into a bun in the back with not a hair out of place. A fine set of glasses, and she's in the corner just polishing some armor. Turns and, yes, hello, welcome to the Pan and Stick. How may I help you?
Did you say that she was human, Dan?
Gnome.
Or... Gnome, okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
So she's a little bit shorter than you are.
Okay, gotcha. I smell at her, and you have a very lovely shop here. Does the shop look, is there a lot of, is it like basic weapons, Dan, or?
It's fairly basic equipment in here. You don't spot anything that
Nothing
looks...
too elaborate.
Exactly. Yeah, no super fine craftsmanship, but there's your basic armors in here. You see some leather armor, light armor, it's padded leather, studded leather. You see some medium armor, hide chain scale.
Something you should get.
Nice. And then there's some heavy armor, some ringmail and chainmail, and some shields hung up along the wall over behind the counter, where it seems to be cashed out.
Yeah, look around, just kind of look around for a couple seconds, and the shopkeeper, you look like you seem like you have a very well furnished shop here.
Thank you.
Some very lovely items. You seem like a very well-knowledged person. Have you known of any? Do you know what a warforged is?
I'm afraid I'm not familiar
Not familiar with the term.
with it. My apologies.
That's okay. They're big iron. Most of the time they're wearing a lot of armor, which is why I thought to ask you. Kind of big golems of sorts.
An armored golem.
I was kind of under the impression that there could have been a chance that maybe the old king might have kept some, and
Anyone, if it's a rare item. Rare. Golems are fairly rare in themselves, and I haven't heard of that, so perhaps.
Certainly. Do you know where because we saw some items in the palace, we took a tour of the palace. Do you know, would you happen to know of where he might have kept some of his items that, after, his unfortunate departure?
Yes, sad business.
Where some of his items might have been stored, other than the palace?
Let me just do a roll for...
That's not sketchy sounding at all.
I'm just, I'm very curious about the history behind the king and where the city sits now, and it's just I like knowing details. I like finding out specifics.
Well,
that's even less sketchy.
Nice specifics of rare and important things. So yeah. She kind of glances about, like, well, I believe that most of the king's important valuables were stored in the palace itself, though there were always rumors that the king stored his most valuable goods in Orin's Keep.
Right. I've heard of Orin's Keep. Have you known of anyone to venture into Orin's Keep and come out alive?
Only the ruler. The ruler's had as a key, a crystal of some sort that they wear around their necks or wrists or whatever's in fashion, in vogue, at the time of their...
Okay.
Yes, and that gives them access, I believe.
Wonderful. That's very interesting. I just love learning about the history of this place. It's so rich in history.
She's just gonna do another roll. Okay. Yes.
Don't oversell it.
Well, again, you have a very lovely shop here.
Thank you.
Felix, would you like to look at anything?
You know, Kalin, you mentioned our little tour of the palace, and we did see some very fine weapons in there. Specifically, there was a shortish sword, maybe about yay-ish long. Would you happen to know anything about that?
Oh.
I think it was called a wakizashi that they mentioned in the palace.
Oh, that certainly sounds foreign. Perhaps rare. I'm afraid I'm mostly familiar with the standard fare that city folk can use, and the city guards sometimes procure items that their stock runs low. I don't know too much about the more militant forms of weapons and such. I'm sorry. I inherited the shop from my father, and I know the ins and outs of what we sell here, but not too much beyond.
Sure, that's a shame. It was a very interesting blade.
My father kept notes. I can always take a quick look and see if there's maybe something we could order for you. Or...
Sure.
Okay.
Here.
Just a moment, please, Ed. And she does just that. She goes behind the counter and comes back. But there is a mention of this my father's notes. I feel that it might take us some time to request this to be forged in town. We could make it locally, but there may be some time. Are you here for a while? I don't.
Oh, you know, we're just passing through. Unfortunately, I don't think we can wait for a sword to be forged.
I'm so sorry. Do you see anything else in the store that you like?
We can take another look around, but I think we're okay. Thanks for your help.
Certainly. And she kind of, doesn't want to be pushy, so she goes back to her buffing of the armor.
Okay. Well, I'm ready to go.
Sure, let's head over to the
Okay.
oasis.
Thank you again. Have a good night.
Oh, you as well. And she wishes you a good eve.
Wait, and I'm like, well, I think that went well.
As well as it could have. I mean, we're still in the city. We're not in chains or anything like that. I was really hoping to see if we could find out if the sword that they had in the palace was the real one or not.
Yes, yeah. Shame if... I wonder how well it's guarded. And Kalin just walks off.
Nice.
Yeah, I wonder how it is.
Great.
Where'd Kalin go?
You turn around and look, and you see her clunk clunk with the armor walking
Clunking.
away. Yeah.
I run off.
All right. Are you guys also headed back to the place now? Okay.
I am heading back, but I think when we get there, I'm going to tell Felix, I think I'm going to spend the night in the library and do some research on the big swirly thing.
Sure.
What's the name of it, Dan, again?
Oh, Orin's Keep.
Orin's Keep. There we go. I'm going to do some research on Orin's Keep and see
I
if I
will
can
help
find
you
out
with that.
something.
I'll help you with that. I don't sleep very well, so I'd rather be awake.
We could run into Ormia. She's coming back from the storm.
Oh, I assumed we were all there at the same time.
I'll say Ormia probably would get there a little bit after you guys,
Okay.
despite your travels down there.
That's a shame. Which,
Yeah.
Are my clothes ready yet, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, once your hour's up, he's already, delivered the clothes and folded them all nice and neatly. And they're set and ready for, by the time you're like, okay, I'm done, you're shink, and he sets them down. Please let me know. I hope the bath is to your liking, and let us know if there's anything else we can do.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, of
And
course.
hurriedly get dressed. I'm like, oh, thank God, there's Okay.
Mm.
Now for the next 10 pounds of sand that I'm gonna accumulate when I step out of the door.
Nice. All right, so Kalin and Felix, you get there just shortly after Emersina has finished with her bath, and she's out in like a relaxing room with comfortable lounge chairs and whatnot. Indoors is little sand in there. You guys join her. You see her all clean and fresh and relaxed.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Find anything important?
Unfortunately, not.
Yeah, we did a little bit of digging, but came up short.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm going to spend some time studying tonight to see if I can find anything else about Orin's Keep.
Okay. You should
Kalin, did you
really, really get a bath. I'm not just saying that because
I'll be sure to. No, that's
their baths are really nice.
okay. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. So I'll go and take a bath.
Okay.
Before I go, I probably would. And
they'll clean your clothes too.
Oh, wonderful. So I probably want to take this somewhere kind of private to go into the library.
They have private baths.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
And we have private rooms too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got it. Okay, that's perfect. So I'll go to my area and take a bath and yeah. And then go into my library, I guess. I mean, unless we can find some way for Ormia to run into me to where she knows that I'm going to be doing this.
By the time you're done with your bath, that's around the time that Ormia has arrived a little bit before you finish your bath.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll just make it, tell everyone what I'm doing.
Okay.
So that Ormia knows if she wants to go. Are you wanting to study as well?
Yeah, I'll help you.
Okay. All right. So, we'll,
A little worse for wear.
Everyone's like, "What happened? You look a little roughed up there."
Are you okay?
I went and tried to do some, not sightseeing. Oh my gosh, what's the word?
Obviously, you have sand in your face.
Exploring?
No, not exploring. Casing the joint. That's not the phrase, but I went to go see where we were gonna be.
Reconnaissance?
You went to the campsite yourself?
I went and did some recon. Just walked along the outside for a little bit.
You didn't take any backup?
Ormia, that's extremely dangerous.
I just walked along the outside. I didn't go close or anything. Just wanted to see if there was a back door or something, but even if I had wanted to, I couldn't get close. It's really windy.
So nothing came about the...
Nope, but it does seem natural. Magic went through it, is from what I could tell, unaffected, so
Okay.
there's that. That'll help your research. We can find out
Hopefully.
more.
Yeah, hopefully we can find some more when we're researching. Well, let's go. So we'll go either to Ormia's room or to my room, Dan, and I'll open the portal to the library.
Okay.
I'll be like, step back, and do my little
Nice. You've got it
incantation
sort of
and whatever it
memorized
is
with
I
that
do.
sage
Oh, yeah.
skill, yeah. You run through an incantation and some arcane energy lights up and the like little candle lit fingertips as you do the runes and stuff in the air. They paint out runes and then poof, opens up. You see two seams form in the midair of arcane energy that meet at the top in a doorway. and an actual door forms from that you can step into. And as the two of you head in, let's see, I think I've got that image again. Oh, good, it's right here too.
Yeah.
So you step in to your library, which is this, Mordenkainen's Latitudinous Library. The door closes behind you and disappears from sight for anyone else.
I will turn to Ormia and just be like, welcome to my safe place. We have 8 hours to research, so feel free to look around and just let me know if you find anything, and I'll do the same. Hopefully we can get a good scope of information while we're in here.
Yeah.
All right?
Cool.
All right. So you two are in there for 8 hours to figure out, to do your research. Felix and Em, you're left, out in the...
Could we have brought dinner in with us?
That's entirely fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Just like peek your head out. Could you bring some food? And
Nice.
Room service.
You just sit it outside the portal. Just sit it in this area. We'll get it.
That late evening, early night, Emil returns to find Felix and Emersina, and says, "Well, where's Ormia and Kalin?"
They're in Kalen's library.
do some research.
Okay, well, we can catch them up later. So, here's what I've found. While everyone seems to know Davros, some seem to have a better handle on what he does than others, more so than others. No one knows his location. I referenced the as nonchalantly as I could the Orin's Keep as though it were a different matter, of course, and information I was seeking. And all the information that I got on that was that only the ruler of Kohera has the key to enter, and that it's a dangerous place for others. Many were superstitious and spoke of gave me warnings that if anyone gets for those that travel near, many hear a voice in their heads cursing Rohin's name. There seem to be a number of superstitious folks here in Tohsa. I did find that our own Bo Tenri here has a much closer connection to the current ruler than we may have thought. He directly works for the current ruler. Apparently, if we really want to get in to see this king, perhaps he can make that happen. Or we can wait for the for proper permission. But Bo Tenri seems to be the key to getting in quickly. If he's willing. That's
So Ormia can use him as her reference?
It's my understanding that we may be able to get a near immediate meeting, at least within a day, if we can convince Bo Tenri to set it up. Much faster than simply being a reference.
Gotcha.
Seems a little dangerous, though. Once we get in, you don't really know the layout very well. And what kind of plan would we have? We could either steal the king's orb, which seems like a fool's errand, or we could ask the king for his help in our mission, which...
Well, there is... Yes, one other bit of information that may help us. While no one knows the location of Davros, or even what he looks like, it appears that they are in contention to be made the permanent ruler of Tohsa. Not only has this temporary ruler sought permission to become the permanent ruler, Davros has as well. And so I think we can play them off of one another, or use that as leverage for his assistance, perhaps.
That's an interesting play.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's the right one, but I think we should certainly see, of course, what you all think, and Kalin and Omia as well.
Sure. Let's talk about it in the morning. I'm gonna go hit the tables and the slots.
Oh.
Care to join me?
Okay.
I think I'll keep you company. Yes, and he sort of rolls his own dice in his hand, pulls them out of his pocket, and just gives them a roll around like labyrinth style.
Well, you guys have fun. I am just gonna go to my room and finish reading the book that I have.
All right. Hope you have a relaxing night.
You too.
Have a
Good luck.
Thanks.
All right. So you step in. So you and Emil head off. Emil isn't really going to gamble on anything. There's nothing in here that strikes his fancy, but he's there to keep you company for a bit and sort of mind his own business, get a lay of the land, and assess whatever he can in here. Once you step in, you see a few different areas set up. There's a game called The Devil's Eye, which is essentially darts, where you can bet on yourself. You can bet money to try and beat other individuals in a one-on-one game. There's Lord and Monkey, which I don't know how to explain it. It's basically 6 squares placed together, 2 rows, 3 columns. And there's dice rolls involved, and you place a bet, and there's a minimum of 1 gold piece per bet, and then it's incrementally 1 gold more until you're all set. So you pick a number, and then you I, as the house person, roll 3d6, and if you have 1 match with the 3d6 I rolled, then you break even. If you have 2 matches, then you get double your bet, and 3 matches is triple your bet.
Okay. Let's play the darts game. That sounds interesting.
Okay. Oh, there's also very similar actually to the Critical Role game. There's Erunur, which is 6 small lizard-like creatures that race one another on a little
Nice.
oval
Oh, man,
track.
let's keep it lizard theme. We'll go with the lizard race.
Okay. So you come up to the dealer and yes. So is this your first time playing?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well,
What makes you think that?
well, I just haven't seen you here. My apologies. Of course, there's a minimum 25 gold piece bet here at this table. Are you up?
Of course.
Well, wonderful. Okay.
25 gold down.
So there are 6 lizards that you can bet on. There's sorry, I just gotta find the thing. Oh, okay. You can just tell me 1 through 6, but then their names are Rex, Handle, Nod, Gru, Star, and Bex.
Ooh, I think I'm gonna have to bet on Brew.
Okay. Let me put that in here. So he takes your starting bid of 25, and basically, well, I guess you'll find out as it goes. Whee! All right, I need to. Let's see each one of these. All right, you know what, let me just do it here so you can see, because I like it better when you can see things like this. All right, so in... What do you Windows open? So the race starts. They line all the lizards up, and in his grand, gesture, on your mark, get set, go! And he slides the little panel out that was keeping them all at bay, and they all start hustling and hustling. So I'm going to roll in here in Fantasy Grounds, which I think you should be able to see. Nice. That's great. All right, so the first one up. So there's, excuse me. There are 3 different legs to this race. So as it rounds the first third of the track, Bex is in the lead. That's in number 1. And they continue on. The back pack is still grouped really tight together. And as it runs around the second third of the table, Candle pulls up.
Oh,
Right, and then it comes around towards the finish line. Let's do the last... Ooh, okay. Oh no, that's not Rue. That's a bummer. Okay.
I mean, that's not what I want to hear, Dan.
Alright. So now I'm just going to tally up the 6. So we'll see. There's still a chance here. Ooh. Oh, actually, that's pretty good. And I'm not making a super. Oops, that was wrong. Super exciting. Sorry, because it's the first time going through. This is what I wanted. Oh no, that's brutal. No, Gru comes in like last. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he did. He really did come in last. That's a bummer. 5. Okay, he ended up with a total of 5. Okay, they all round the corner, and that puts Bex in first, Nod in second, and then after that it doesn't matter because no one else after that wins. Right from the get-go, your hopes are up for Gru, and he shoots out with the pack, but then very quickly you can tell, Gru's slowing down, and everyone's sort of racing around the corner, and Gru is still just not keeping up, and your hopes of him, making a last-minute recovery are just shot as he just continues to kind of crawl over the finish line at the end. Oh, no, sir, I'm so sorry. Oh, it's a risky bet. The payoff is great, but better luck next time, I'm sure.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. You know what? No, that's right. You said it wasn't your first time. Sorry, Zip. Yes, well, please come and see us again. There's plenty of other games here to play, should you see fit. And wish you the best in all your ventures.
Thank you. I leave a silver piece as a tip.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. You know what? Let me see, because these people... Oh, okay, you know what? Let's say we give you one more time in the house, seeing as how it's your first time at our fine establishment. Rolled a 20 when I was going to see whether or not he was going to do that.
Sure, let's give it one more
Like another
shot.
go? Very well. Okay, who would you like to bet on this time around? There is...
You say there was Bex? Is that right? Or
there's a
something?
Rex. Is there Rex, Handle, Nod, Gru, Star, Bex?
Yeah, the last one, Bex.
Bex, okay. Alright, let me clear these numbers out. You got it, sir. I've got a good feeling about this. Okay, there. What I should do is just this way. Okay, let's see. So, 4, 2, ooh. So this time, as the gates open up, Gru and Nod fire out ahead of everyone else, of course. They're tied for first. Rex is in third, and right behind Rex is Bex. So Bex is currently in third place as they round the first corner, or the first third of the oops.
Go! Faster!
They round the next corner. And, well, let me just do some quick things. Sorry, that would be 7. Ooh, hey, this is going to get juicy.
Oh boy.
Holy Toledo. It's just strange that these numbers would do this. Okay.
Oh boy.
They round this second third of the course track. Bex, your lizard, Star, Gru, and Nod are all neck and neck, with Handle and Rex tied right behind them. They're all just this big pack of lizards scrambling as fast as they can. It's really anyone's race. That's pretty exciting.
Hold on to that
So
last roll.
nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah. All right, that's 8, 7. And it's only at the very end here that they finally, break free from this group. Star this time crossing the finish line first, just a hair in front of Gru. That came in second. Nod right behind Gru, and Bex a strong fourth with Rex and Handle after that. Oh, sir! That was so close. I had such a good feeling. But I appreciate your patronage, and I do hope you'll come back and visit us again here.
Maybe so, yeah. Thanks for the free run. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, sir. Have a wonderful
Retire to
evening.
my room.
Okay. Anything else you want to do here in the gambling arena?
Nope.
Pop that bubble, right? Oh.
Too rich for my blood.
Okay. You do see that the other ones don't have a high minimum the way this one did. But yeah, I'm sure after that it's like
Yeah, maybe tomorrow night.
okay, so Emil, follows you out and says, "Well, I'm gonna get some rest. I'm really weary from all the sand and the travel. But let's all discuss this in the morning and see where we can go from here. Get out of this desert."
Sounds good.
Kind of scuttles off to his room.
Oh, I fall asleep reading the book.
Okay. Nate, she gets sleepy. So everyone ends up having a good night's sleep except for Kalin or Mia, who skip trance and sleep for the night to study in here.
Yeah.
So
Ormia hasn't been sleeping well anyways, so.
Kalin, go ahead and roll a history check with advantage on Orin's Keep.
Get that over there. Alright. Advantage. History check.
Big money, no whammies.
That's good. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, it came in handy already.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are flipping through book after book. Again, as you walk through here, you think about a topic that you want, or a book in particular, if you know the name of the book, and hold out your hand near any of the bookshelves, and you see the books, per that row of books, just shift through the bookend as if it weren't there, and new ones shift in. As you reach your hand out, it stops, and the book you want is there. So you take it out and you start reading on as much as you can about books related to Orin and Orin's keep. And while you find a fair bit on Orin, again being the father of all earth elementals here in the Feywild, it does talk about his lineage in the plane of elemental earth and where he comes from. There are a couple of books that have reference to this keep in Tohsa, but essentially it's knowledge for the most part you know. It was named that to keep people away, that it is only usable via a crystal that acts as a key to protect the wearer through the sand to get at whatever's in there, but it doesn't really have anything in detail because only the king knows about it. Despite the high roll, there just isn't that much written because it's really only the kings and their lineage that know. Okay. And you do find, though, that this keep, this whole thing is only about 100 years old or so. Before that, there was zero mention of it. And that came about during the reign of Rohirrim, the king that just got assassinated.
Okay.
So any mention of like the storm dome, the wind dome, has that always been there, or?
Nope, there's no record of that before 100 years ago or so, too. Of note, you do catch some references of some catastrophic event that happened in the Feywild about, around that same time. Doesn't go into too much detail, but apparently there were quite a few battles between powerful rulers and kingdoms and creatures, and they reference Rohirrim as one of the people that participated in this. They also mentioned a Queen Elindra. And books.
Was Rohirrim's race mentioned?
Eladrin. They put all Eladrins out as the rulers. And the books have different takes based on who wrote the books. Some say that it wasn't quite a civil war, but there was at least 2 or 3 sides that wanted something out of this war, that were part of the contention. And some say that Rohirrim was an upstanding king and protected his people, but it sounds a little bit like fluff. Instead of, those books that you read, you've got a pretty keen eye for that. Others talk about Elindra and reference a number of deeds that she actually did beforehand that sound like she was more in support of actually protecting people. And she was on the side of some of the different good-aligned creatures that were involved in this madness 100 years ago.
Does it give any kind of indication as to where the keys were kept, or the crystal keys?
Just kept by the king, by the ruler.
Okay.
He was appointed to eat. However, so far the only ruler that's had one is Rohirrim, because and now this temporary guy. or person or whatever.
Okay. Alrighty.
All right. Well, everyone else wakes up as you two kind of step out. A long night of researching, and there's some information there that is laterally maybe helpful for something at some
while
point.
we were in the library doing all of that, seeing how it reacted, I would have thought about a book about the compass. I want to find out, see if there's anything that has more detail about it, such as like what blood it prefers.
Well, you have to spend the whole 8 hours researching the one thing, and then it spits you out.
Okay.
Now, the spell does get better at higher levels, but for now, it's sort of you think about that, but the books just keep past, and you go to grab, and it's never the book that you want regarding the compass.
Okay. All right.
So you guys step out. It's morning time. It's still kind of cool. It's transitioning from night to morning. I'll say, everyone else kind of gets up. There's a hot meal. And you guys meet in the common area for food for breakfast. And Emil fills you in on what he found. Just blanket that one.
Okay. I'll definitely need something to keep me going during the day. Some kind of drink or...
They do have coffee here, so they...
Okay. Can a server come and I'll just request, I'll ask, do you have anything that... coffee or any sorts?
Absolutely. The finest. Yes, please. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
My pleasure. And yeah, so Emil tells you the same thing. Like, I think this guys are in, but that's the information I found. If we can talk to what's his name here, and I think we have a chance of convincing this ruler of letting us help him or her by taking care of Davros. But that's just what I found out.
Let's go find this person.
And he's walked by a time or two, and as you see him, you call him over because he's not too far away.
Does he own this place?
He was the person at the front desk, so possibly.
I wasn't there for that. So.
Okay. So someone else, Emil or someone, calls him over. Botenrine. Yes. I hope you're enjoying your stay so far in the experience. What can I help you with?
You mentioned that you would be able to help us with anything that we needed.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
We need to get in contact with the ruler. Who, remind me, the player. Do we know the name of this temporary ruler? Has anybody?
No one.
No one's mentioned it yet.
We need to get in contact with your...
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That woman, she did. I'm pretty sure she did. Let me just go check here.
I think so.
Renan. Yeah, she did. She said Renan.
Okay.
We need to get in contact with Renan.
Oh.
We've heard, that you work for him, and you guys are just pretty close together, and hang on, how would you say this? Ormia would know what to say. I'm thinking of it. Hold on.
No problem.
Hold on. We have an offer for him concerning Davros.
Oh.
We want to help your friend.
I see. Well,
But we need to get him to talk to him first. And we heard that you would be a really good reference, but the sooner we can get in to help, the better, because Davros has taken something from me. And we would be more than willing to help along the way.
see him contemplating for a minute. Yes, I think Renan would be interested in hearing about this. Yes, well, I think that's doable. Yes, let's do that. I can take you there as soon as you're ready.
I'm ready.
He kind of looks around at everyone else.
Have you had any food yet, Ormia?
I ate a little bit.
Very well. Let's let me put my traveling wear on before be prepared for the day in the heat, and we should be off. Gives it a nod and turns and gets what he is, different clothing, protective gear for the heat and stuff, and comes back, a minute or two later. To the palace then?
To the palace.
Yep.
Alright, you guys
Oh
head
god, we gotta go
back through town. Yeah, you see the stairs, and Em thinks that, like, much
Should've
more
brought that shield.
it's much more manageable today. Oh, good.
I looked at everyone else and like, if we had a warforged, you could probably carry 3 of us up. And I start up.
Clunk, clunk, clank, clank. Nice.
Anybody else worried about how obsessed she is with the Warforged? Like, you're worried about how to silence compass, but like this is a higher level of obsession here.
Oh,
Just
that's so great.
saying. I guess it is admittedly more adorable.
Then a blood-filled compass? Maybe.
Perhaps.
Filled with the blood of the unwilling? Probably.
Snap.
That's fantastic.
I'm staying out of that conversation.
Dan, I get
Those
to
were
cover all the Spire back and forth, right?
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so today, it's much more manageable. You're not on the heels of 3.5 days travel. I thought I had a different one. Oh, well. So you guys manage your way up the stairs. You approach. You don't see the guard from yesterday, but there's still the same number of guards as Bo Tenry sort of leads the way. He talks to a couple guards and gets access, and you go through this courtyard area up to the main spire. Surprise, more steps, spiraling steps that are actually just even though this is a spire in itself, it's so large that there's a number of spiraling steps, one in each cardinal direction. So you find your way to the closest, or Bo Tenry guide you to the closest one, and up and up and up and up. And just when you think you're done, there are more stairs.
I'm just like casually, they're working on these things on these platforms that have been enchanted with levitation, and you can move up and down at will. It's pretty handy.
Nice. You do get an appreciation and think, well, maybe this is why everyone's so fit here in Tohsa. It's the stairs. Everyone's got a stairmaster.
My old enemy. Stairs.
Nice. You finally reach what seems to be the top level penthouse of the Spire, and it opens up. You reach the top, and there's a small space of tiled flooring that's like a sea green next to sort of an almond, like an off-white. tiled back and forth that leads up to a semicircle wall with a large set of brass doors, French doors that are shut currently. Number of guards out here, 4 on each side, spread across the semicircle wall. 2 of them, nod to Botenry, and they open the door. Sorry, they don't open the door. The doors actually swing out towards you, and an incredibly large creature steps out. I guess make a quick history check, because it is something
The
that...
Warforged? Those are pretty good.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Kalin would
All of
lose
us?
her crap. She would lose it.
All of us make a history check.
I guess anyone proficient in history, because this is
Yeah,
sort of a
okay.
Fey thing, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
It is a
snap!
Warforged!
I'll try my hand at it.
Felix and Ormia, you're just taking this whole thing in. And it's a large size creature. Let's see. Incredibly strong build. Humanoid in shape. Let me see if I can get... really dark skin. Almost has a stonish look to it. Like an earthy look to it. Long, dreadlocked hair down half his back. Jewelry, almost gaudy jewelry hanging from his neck and his wrists and rings. With this fine silken clothing. With this belt, with this massive belt buckle on the front. Standing almost 12 or 13 feet tall. So in a normal house, ceiling's about 8 feet, so that and a half. Tall, leans out of the doorway and looks down and kind of bellows at all of you. Now, Kalin, though, you recognize this creature as a Dao, which is a stronger, much stronger type of genie. Rhinewind's mother was a Myrid, and that's a different type of genie of this level. This is a Dao. They're earth-based genies. You know that they regularly adorn themselves in jewelry and precious gems and rare metals. You also know that they have this cool feature where they can fly, and their whole lower torso disappears. Instead of legs, it becomes a swirling spire, like a tornado of sand and earth that spins around. And you also know because you rolled so well, they're all about having things, and sort of that's what gives them worth. Having things and showing them off. Hence the jewelry and stuff. And this
I
Dao...
legitimately thought you were going to say they were all about that base.
Nice. So it walks out and kind of towers over everyone. Welcome to Tohsa, my city. So, I'm told you're here to help me with something. And he kind of looks at Botenry. Not with a friendly, how are you friend look, but more like, so you've brought people here, it better be worth my while kind of look. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Ah,
Sorry.
Can I have one more question before we end? I'm gonna before we end, I'm gonna have one more session. We're here to help you take care of a little problem you have named Davros.
Piques his
Dun, dun,
interest.
dun.
And that's where we'll end.
That's
Wow.
Neat. All right. Whoo! So you guys went everywhere. That was pretty great.
Rascal.
up, down, all around.
Yeah. I'm excited for next episode. I've got so much stuff set and ready. Next episode is going to be cray cray, so I hope because there's some yeah. I was sort of hoping, like, if we had another 15 minutes, it would have ended on, like, a bombshell, probably, because you guys are in this area.
Damn.
I have 15 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have 15 minutes.
You can't reveal stuff like that. Surprise!
Do you have another 10 minutes? Because I'll give it another 10.
I do.
Does anyone else have
I've
to go?
got nothing the rest of the night.
I'm okay.
I guess so. Why not?
Oh, all right. Okay.
One of us.
All right, let me get my notes. I'm glad I didn't close. I hope I didn't close
Wow.
them. Okay.
Guys, bonus content.
So, I'm so excited, and I was really hoping we'd make it, so this is extra cool.
Extras.
All right.
Chad,
so-
don't say we didn't look out for you.
Okay. So he says, he kind of looks around at the guards nearby. Well, this is probably no place to talk then. Let's, I invite you all to my residence, where we can talk with fewer prying eyes. Yes?
That sounds wonderful.
Agreeable.
Sure.
He gestures to have you all come into the room. Come. I picture Emil stealthily, being as stealthy as he can, following everyone.
Stealth.
You enter the room, and he shuts the doors. Bo Tenry coming with you. Well, stand over here. You all can take the carpet. And just follow me. Bo Tenry, you know how. Yes, sir. He kind of bows humbly before Renan. And you all step it. There's a really large carpet, like 5 by to whatever it is. I forget the largest size carpet. And Bo Tenry whispers down to it, and as you're standing on it, you feel it. Whoop! You lose your balance just slightly as it lifts off the ground like half a foot and starts, floating.
What's happening?
Can I try to catch that word, the command word?
Nice. He says, well, let's...
I want a perception to see if I can hear the command word.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Well, he's still got to roll. No, he didn't roll high.
You're going to be hunted down to the ends of the Feywild.
Nice. Yeah, it's enough below his breath that you can't make out quite what he says. Well, shall we? And you get to witness his legs shift like a heat distortion before starts spinning around, becoming this tornado of earth and sand below him, and he flies out to the balcony and up, and the carpet follows. You fly out past the ledge, up in the air, and you're soaring at an upward angle. You kind of have to hang on to the sides of the carpets. You're not hanging off of it, but it's enough where you're like, okay, hang on, I get it. As you fly up and up and up, and you're headed towards this chunk of levitating earth with a small palace on it, basically. And it takes a good 10 minutes to fly up there because it's so far above the city. That's that little chunk of land floating in the map in the southern part there. You finally touch down on another balcony here, and that is right in the very edge. The map doesn't quite do it justice, but this residence of his takes up almost the entire top of this chunk of earth. So when you land on this balcony, it's like the balcony looks down over the entire city here. It's this awe-inspiring view of the entire city of Tohsa. You can actually see the top of the dome. It's just a little bit lower and in the distance of this swirling sand mass. He shifts back to having feet and invites you all in, and orders some servants around to get some dinner and other stuff prepared for you. Well, please Sit. There's a really long dinner table here that he's inviting you all to sit down in. Plush, super comfortable chairs. Fine silverware already set out for the whole table, just in case. Well, I hear you have news, and of Davros, certainly I must hear. Please, how do you feel that you can help me?
Well, he has taken something of mine, and I would like to get it back, and I figured we could work together for that.
Are you familiar with the current situation of Kohera?
We're familiar enough to know of the coup of Davros's shadowy presence and more or less his and situation that you're currently in, trying to become the more permanent ruler of this city.
Yes. Typically, only Eladrin rule here in the Feywild. But we're here in the far reaches, and the city has fallen under my protection during this past year, and I believe I've ruled it well. My hands are a bit tied regarding the rest of the kingdom outside of Tohsa, and yes, I am seeking approval from the Arens Malin to become the rightful ruler and restore some order to the rest of our kingdom. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Davros seeks the same. So he sees it simply as a means to an end. A means to gain more power. And that's a man that shouldn't be allowed that kind of position.
I agree.
May I ask what he's taken from you?
Took my teacher.
I'm sorry for your loss. He's a man that takes what he wants, regardless of how anyone else feels or what they need. You see now he's got a bit of a scar over his right eye. And he kind of rubs it for a bit and says, I've met Davros in person once, and only once. Like the coward he is, he attacked me in my sleep. But he didn't count on my dagger of warning, and he pats his belt. He's got a little dagger tucked in. I never go anywhere without it. Not even bed.
Can I make a, I guess, intelligence check on that to see if, because it's a weapon, to see if I would know anything about that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Would that be intelligence?
Yeah. Or history, whichever.
Okay. Well, there is intelligence, and history is a 20 total.
Okay. Yeah, you know that there are weapons of warning out there. And basically, they act like the alarm spell, sort of. If there's any threatening presence within 30 feet of you, even if you're asleep, you're awoken. And I think it's within for anyone else that is, friendly to you within 30 feet. I'd have to actually read it, but basically it alerted him to a dangerous presence and woke him up. And he continues, we fought, and he took my eye. And you can't really tell that it's a glass eye because it's, he's paid top notch for replacement, but you do see a bit of the scar over his eye. But I gave him a beating. He hasn't forgotten since, as he hasn't graced me with his presence since that. I would like to seek your help, but first, this is enough about me. Please, tell me about yourselves. Did you come here seeking Davros, or what brought you here?
Yes. We came because my teacher had been taken by a satyr and a pixie working for this creature. I've been looking for him for over a month now. Apparently he's been brought to pay his due. I'm not entirely sure what that means. From what I knew, he was a very fine, upstanding man. He is a very fine, upstanding man. A good teacher. An even better swordsman.
Huh. Well, I hope you get to the bottom of that mystery, and I will definitely appreciate the help. I assume that perhaps you're not from the Feywild, as we don't see high elves here often.
I've noticed quite a few stairs.
Well, most high elves, the Eladrin that left the Feywild, of course, became high elves, and you don't see many return. The Eladrin can be a haughty bunch, no offense to your ancestors, but not all, but many that I meet looked at the world down their nose. And so high elves just simply don't return very often. But I do hope that you found our fair city has treated you well so far.
It's been nice.
Good. And he's sort of looking around, kind of scanning everybody. And he looks... Felix, have you done any... did you shower? Did you do any of that yet?
Nope.
No. Okay. So he kind of, sees you. I'm going to say you're like at the closest seat to him on this side.
Woo,
And he's sort of, I'm not sure how you all made it here to the Feywild, let alone the far reaches. The closest means of travel between the Fey and the Prime is months of travel away from here, as far as I know. But
It took us a few days.
he's still kind of, scanning everyone. And he kind of gets like a hearty amusement from Kalin. As food's brought out, and he just sees sort of this fiery spirit in this smaller creature. Because he's a large-sized creature, so he's just like... and his gaze, kind of goes then over to Emercina. And he squints a little bit, says, I have to say, I've lived a very long time, and I haven't seen one of your kind in ages.
So.
I must ask, have you not gone through your rite? No offense, but you seem much too old to have not gone through it yet.
Why?
Well, you seem to be missing something. I mean, I'm sorry. Did your parents not teach you about the rite? What of your clan?
What are you talking about?
And he sort of contemplates for a minute to see... Let me see what he actually thinks about this, if he should say anything or not. Well, most of your kind that I've met have, gone through their rite and early adulthood. But I see that you clearly haven't. Were you raised here in the Feywild or in the Prime?
Prime.
And your parents never spoke of a rite? And no one from your clan did?
No, as far as I know, I never lived with a clan.
Oh, well. Perhaps it's not my place to say, but you should probably seek out your clan or some member of your kind to find out more about your heritage. It must be a shame to live a life devoid of all you could be.
How can it be shameful when I wasn't taught?
Well, as one that can experience the joys of flight, I would imagine it would be a great shame to be grounded such as you, when you could have your wings.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Oh, all Tildari have wings. Part of the right.
How do you know all of this?
I've lived a long time. You have all the features of a Tildari.
Looks like I have some studying to do.
Well, if there's anything you come through for me, I'll do my best to come through for you. If there's any information leads I can track down for you, heritage is important.
Agreed.
Well, let's get down to business then. You may not know this, but I believe Davros also has means to enter Orin's Keep. I have no reason to travel there myself, and truth be told, if you can aid me in this, I would appreciate that and be more than happy to show my appreciation in a material manner. So, I ask again, what can you do for me? And that's where we'll end it, because I don't want to hold poor Ed up for super. Okay, cool.
Wow.
Okay, fine.
Damn it!
Sorry.
Yes, reveal.
Pouty face.
Good. We were so close, and like, So thanks for sticking it out, a little extra time there. There's still plenty of awesome stuff next episode, for sure, depending on where you guys go and what you do, but even more stuff like that. I can't wait.
Yeesh. Yeesh.
All right. Well, thank you, players, for making it and staying late and everything. I appreciate that. Had a blast. And look forward to next episode where everyone gets fun stuff happening.
Oh gosh.
I mean, depending on how far we get through stuff. But yeah, there's plenty of... For all the strife you go through, there should be plenty of fun story things and other bits. That'll be good. And thank you, chat, for hanging out with us, and thank you for staying late as well. Yeah, I hope. I guess we'll wrap it up here because we already went late. So I hope you all have a great night, and of course we'll catch you next week, same time, 10 p.m. Eastern to 1 o'clock next Friday. All right. Have a great night. Take care, everybody.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.